Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good. And miracles do exist. That's why we're honored to be talking about Miracle League of Memphis. We're joined by their executive director, Eddy Hatcher. Eddy, how are you doing?
Absolutely terrific. It's a great day.
Well, when you talk about Miracle League of Memphis, you all are doing tremendous good, bringing to life this huge, amazing playground activity center. We'll talk all about that, but let's start with a little background on Miracle League of Memphis.
Well, I owned a franchise, and one of the other franchise managers was going to retire, and he said he's going to build a Miracle League baseball field for kids with disabilities and special needs. I love kids. I love baseball, and had no clue what the Miracle League was. So I looked into it. They're a national organization. They deal with both playgrounds and specially designed baseball fields. It's rubberized surface, totally flat. Kids with wheelchairs, walkers, it doesn't matter what kind of disability, they can play baseball. The playgrounds are designed to be inclusive so that kids with disabilities play with other kids. It's not disabled kids over here and kids without disabilities, they play together on the equipment. And that's the way we designed it. We looked into it. The nearest organization was in Jonesboro. They've got a really nice complex over there. The next nearest one was in Murfreesboro. They got a nice complex. We didn't have one. I started looking around and went, okay, who's going to do this? So I prayed about it and decided, all right, let's get rolling. I started talking to Nick Walker, who's the director of parks, and he goes, man, I've been wanting to do something like this. And he goes, where do you want it? I said, Toby Park. He goes, why Toby? I said, it's in the center of the city. It's near the Children's Museum, the Pink Palace or Memphis Museum now, the zoo over to the square, Liberty Park. And he goes, I've got just the field for you. He pointed out a softball field. It's got parking, it's got lighting, and that's where we're gonna build it.
When you look at raising the money, let's start with the business side, and then we'll work our way to describing this, because you sent me the pictures, and it's amazing when you look at what this is going to entail, but the opportunity, just like you're talking about, provides. So talk about the business side in terms of the money needed, the planning time, the construction time. Give us kind of those basics.
The entire complex is going to cost about $4.25 to $4.5 million. We've raised almost $700,000 so far. I think we've got another $300,000 that's going to be contributed. We're going to need businesses to sponsor it. We're going to need individuals to sponsor it. We've got foundations that have already contributed to it. AutoZone, for instance, Dick's has contributed. We've got some other foundations, Urban Child Institute. And they want to contribute. People when they see what we're doing, they realize the impact that we're going to have on these kids, and I think they're going to be interested and want to be a part of it.
So go ahead and paint the picture as much as you can for those that are listening on the radio airwaves, and then for those that are watching, we'll put up the pictures. But describe, you mentioned the rubberized surface, you mentioned the field aspect, but there's a lot of really unique playground aspects as well. So go ahead and start painting the picture, bring it to life as much as we can by talking about it.
Okay, if you visualize a softball field, home to the left field is about 220 feet. Our baseball field is going to be home to about 125 feet. That will take care of everything. It'll be totally flat. The bases are flat. The dugouts are flat. Kids can come out in wheelchairs. We're going to have a large video scoreboard so that the kids can get their name announced. They'll have special music at the games. And then when it comes to what we're visualizing is they will play their baseball game. They'll go to a pavilion, have a snack, have a lunch, then go to the playground. And most playgrounds are 4,000 to maybe 10,000 square feet. Ours is going to be closer to 28,000 square feet. If you visualize the infield that is now dirt as being the baseball field, the entire outfield is going to be covered with inclusive playground equipment that the kids can play together. We're going to have zip lines, and it's going to be a unique design. We're going to have 4 zip lines, 2 on each side, and one of them will have a specialized seat and one will have a non-specialized seat. So that brother and sister and the disabled kids can race each other. We're going to have spinners so that they can all play together. We're going to have specialized swings so that they can all play together. We're going to have something that's really cool is going to be it's like a tunnel that's about 10 feet long. But as you walk through it, it's going to be like you're walking on the inside of a kaleidoscope. We're going to have slides that are going to be on ramps. There's no stairs so that kids with disabilities can get up there without any trouble. It's just, it's the kind of thing where we want everybody playing together. Our mission statement is one field, one playground, everybody plays. And by everybody, we mean mom, dad, brother, sister, friends, disabled kids, they're all playing together. So
when you look at
vision.
taking the idea, like you mentioned, Jonesboro, Murfreesboro, but making this one unique, talk about some of the things that you're pulling from others that are, kind of proven best practices, but proven successes, but then the unique elements that you're using for Memphis and the Mid-South. So talk about kind of what you're taking from the others, but what we're making unique for Memphis.
Well, I think one thing, you're going to have a really large piece of equipment that incorporates like a rocker, slide, 3 or 4 different slides, roller slides, roller tables. Ankeny, Iowa, of all places, has one like this. I looked at their design and I called the parks director. I said, "You're 650 miles from us. Can we use the same basic design that you're using?" And he goes, "Sure, go right ahead, no problem." We figure with all the ramps and everything, everybody's going to be able to use this. I think that's very unique. We're going to have cozy domes, which is like a little mini mound with holes in it so that kids with autism can crawl in and have their moment and gather themselves. But at the same time, other kids can crawl over the top of it. Our swings, we're going to have specially designed seats sitting next to the other seats, again, so that the kids can swing with each other, so that brother and sister are both swinging and everybody's safe. The key here is we want it safe. And, the way we're designing it, we had a specialist with the equipment. We had teachers that work with kids with disabilities. All of that went into the specific design of the equipment that we're using. And we're going to have an area for smaller kids, kids that are 2 to 5 years old. We're going to have special equipment for them. And then we're going to have equipment for everybody else.
Talk about partnerships for the future, because I've got to believe when you look at organizations like Best Buddies Tennessee, Special Olympics, there's so many organizations that you could collaborate with, having this top-notch world-class facility that will enable almost like year-round programming. So talk about kind of that vision when you look at, once it's built, how do you bring it to life moving forward?
We're members of the Disability Network here in Memphis, so we're going to build it that way and get the word out. We've already been in contact with the Shelby County schools. They are very excited about this program. For instance, the Shrine School, Avon School, already talked to them. They're going to have special field days for the students. We want to have special days for and I'm just going to throw a couple out, like the Down Syndrome Association. Want to have a special day just for them. Want to have a special day for the Cerebral Palsy Association, or a special day, like Madonna, some of their, and those are just off the top of my head. But then some of the companies that are contributing, I want to be able to have a special day for them too, so that they can come and their kids, and they can celebrate themselves with what we're doing. So, and we want this to be. Nick Walker said this is going to be a destination, and that's what we want. We want people from all over the Mid-South to come in, enjoy themselves for the day, and just make a complete day out of what they're doing. So we want everybody involved.
Well, you've talked about the budget. Now talk about the construction and what that timeline looks like.
One of the things that we're looking at, we know that the baseball field and the playground, we want them together, but we're also realistic about it. Right now, we're getting ready to start building the baseball field. I think we'll probably be able to start that later this fall. We're reaching a point where, from a funding standpoint, we can do that. But we want to get the construction on the playground going as quickly as we can. I think when we do that, that's going to be the draw when we have, particularly when we have both of them together. The playground, it's going to be 4 or 5 times the size of any playground in somebody's neighborhood. It's going to be a huge draw for kids to be able to play baseball. This is going to be a huge draw. But we want to get the baseball field done while we're at that point. But we're looking for corporations. We're looking for individuals to contribute. And we want to have some naming rights. I mean, if somebody contributes, says, hey, I want to contribute and I want to contribute a spinner. Well, that's fine. Let's give you recognition for contributing the spinner. I want you to have that kind of recognition. I want people to see who built this. I don't want this to just be we built it. I want it to be the community built it, and the people that are responsible. I want everybody to get credit for what they're doing.
Absolutely. I think, to your point, it's a rare opportunity to be, in the beginning, to be a part of something that will have, an amazing lifespan that you get to be associated with. At the same time, talk about kind of keeping some dollars continually flowing for upkeep and maintenance and some of those things. So talk about kind of the balance of making sure that it's built and all the funding is there and naming rights and everything, but then obviously the upkeep on the back end.
We've got an unusual agreement with the city on this. The city has approved it. It's a memorandum of use. What we're going to do is we're going to get it built, and the city, we're going to cede it to the city. They will be responsible for all of the maintenance, opening, closing, and the result is, and the Miracle League will have first rights as far as usage is concerned. So it's really a win-win. With them opening it, anybody can use it at any time. With them being responsible for the maintenance, that will be taken care of. It also relieves the Miracle League of a lot of the liability issues, the maintenance issues. And if you look at the city parks, like the surfacing and the way the parks, they've done a really pretty good job of maintaining those things in the city parks. So we're comfortable that it's going to be a win-win. The city gets it, we get it, and the major issues are taken care of. This is great for everybody.
When you look at how the community can support, you mentioned obviously corporate support, donations, naming rights. You look at the opportunity to help spread the word and the good news about what you're doing. Those are easy ways to get involved and help. But what are some other ways the community can help get behind and support this project?
Well, for instance, like on the baseball, we want every player is going to need a buddy, which means there's somebody to help them. We're going to need coaches. At the same time, we need cheerleaders. We need people to get out and see these kids playing. When it comes time to like the playground, we need people out there to kind of help out a little bit. But I think there's room for people to just get involved. One of the things that we're finding out when we started our research, there were 2 things that the families wanted. One, they wanted more facilities for their kids. And 2, they wanted something where their kids could play with other kids. This complex is going to do that. And that's where people can come in. Even if you don't want to be a buddy, you can run the video board. You can get in the stands and cheer. The kids are going to, they love it when they get cheered for hitting a home run or just getting a base hit. It's great for them. that's kind of my role in a lot of this. I enjoy being a cheerleader. I enjoy getting out. Somebody gets a base hit, I'm cheering them on as they're getting their walker running down to first base, or a child goes down one of the slides, with mom or dad or brother holding a hand. Cheer them on while they're coming down. Just make every kid out there feel special. And I think we can do that. It doesn't take special skills to make somebody feel really good on something like that, but we're needed.
Well, and I think that's what you're accomplishing is you're building a sense of community. You're strengthening community. You're inviting everybody to participate, just like you're talking about. You're building community. And I think that's where it all centers around love. And that's what makes it absolutely awesome. So wrap up with where we can go. So website, social media, where can we go to make donations, to follow the project and the growth with the Miracle League of Memphis?
Okay, we've got our Facebook, Miracle League of Memphis. And we've got our website, memphismiracleleague.org. They can send an email to me at ehatcher@memphismiracleleague.org, or they can call me. I'd be glad to talk to them. My number is 901-647-6473.
Well, Eddy Hatcher, Executive Director of Miracle League of Memphis, thank you for all you do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, I appreciate it. This has been great. Thank you very much.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.